Ishubonu in the house, back with another Arsenal news episode where, ladies and gentlemen, bad news, good news, and some really strange news that I have for you guys so that I can share it with you. So, Emile Smith Rowe injured, and the extent of injury will be revealed, not completely. Arsenal are looking to sign Sergio Aguero. What? Really? Is that a possibility? We're going to talk about that as well. We're also going to talk about Thierry Henry opening up about the racist abuse. And also Granit Xhaka, one of the best Arsenal players in terms of the statistics. You won't believe it until you see it. Of course, Arsenal are eyeing another youngster, this time from Valenciennes. Everyone is looking at him. Leicester, Strasbourg, and of course, Arsenal. We're going to talk about him as well. So, also, Marcus Rashford has rated Bukayo Saka, of course. Let's see how highly has he rated Bukayo Saka. So stay tuned for that. So let's just begin, ladies and gentlemen. The first news that we got here is about Emile Smith Rowe. So Charles Watts has informed us about what has happened with Emile Smith Rowe playing for England under 21s. He says Emile Smith Rowe has picked up an injury with England under 21s. Looks like he won't play against Croatia tomorrow. AD Boothroyd says, we have got a couple of players that we are waiting to hear from off the back of a few scans. Emile, he will be very doubtful, I would say. So it looks like doubtful to play against Croatia tomorrow. Emile Smith Rowe is... Yep. They'll think about him. All the best. I hope there's nothing really much to worry about. I just hope that's the fact. So Tony Adams on Instagram shares this image, and the caption, I'm sure you cannot see it. I'll read it out for you. The caption is, 20 years ago today, I lost my mate. If you don't know, he's talking about Rocky Rocastle. He says, taken too young but not forgotten. Very grateful to have known him for 20 years, to have shared so many great times together on the pitch and off of it, and to have said goodbye with a massive hug at the hospital 2 weeks before he died. Picture taken at the 2001 FA Cup final a month after Rocky's passing with his son Ryan. Rest in peace, mate. Sad. Wow. Moving on, so Paul Merson on Sergio Aguero says, if he stays in England, I think Arsenal would suit the style he would be looking for. They'd be a good choice. Arteta was at Man City, and the way Arsenal play, they get around the box and do create a lot of opportunities. Arsenal do take that box for Aguero. So, Paul Merson believes Sergio Aguero must land at Arsenal. How crazy is that? That is a big question to everyone who's watching this. I'm asking it to you. Would you consider Sergio Aguero at Arsenal? All the best if you do, but you know what? Short term, I would take him, but he's injury prone, so I have my reservations. Let's look out for someone else, man. But what a player that he would be for Arsenal. But moving on, so talking about Thierry Henry. Actually, he has had enough of discussing racism after coming off of social media. Now he's actually opened up about that. I mean, he announced his, he will only return when platforms are safe and no longer used as a weapon for hate. He's got a lot of support from a lot of different players. So in conversation with Watford Troy Deeney, Henry told The Sun that it wasn't just yesterday, the day before yesterday, or the day before yesterday. It's been going on forever. In football, racism used to come from the stands. You play for Watford, so you know how big John Barnes is. Not only for Watford, but for the game. I saw stories of John Barnes when I was young, of Marius Stresser when I was growing up in France. There are a lot of stories. You have them. I have them. Everybody has them. But I talk, we talk, I talk, we talk, I talk, we talk. What was it? How did you feel? Did you sleep well that night? Did you wake up well? I talk, we talk, I talk, we talk. I've had enough of talking. Troy. They ask me a question, I say, play my video from 5 years ago. There is freedom of speech, but you can't shout whatever you want in an airport, a cinema, a police station. This is my point, accountability. Wilfred Zaha got abused, and we found out after that the kid is 12 years old. How do you have an account? How can we not know who you are behind that account? I mean, you have ways. Come on, it can't be sorry. It's up to the user. We don't know. We are going to delete his account. All you have is the IP address. I take another device and open another account. How do you know the guy is over 13 and so allowed to be on social media? It's too easy. But Troy, you try to put on a video you don't own the copyright on. You see how quick that they take that down? You didn't do it to hurt anyone. They've invented some kind of algorithm so you can't even press send. So how come you can press send when it's about abuse? It's a great tool. It is very important. You can connect to your fans. You can connect to your family. People can sometimes use aliases to make sure that they expose what's happening in their country or whatever, and they don't want to get caught. It's great. Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? That is a much stronger thing that Thierry Henry has mentioned. I think, yeah, I think it's a very solid thing. But here's something more solid for you guys. Granit Xhaka has been named as Arsenal's best player in data developed by CIES Football. The Swiss footballer is the highest ranking Arsenal player. He comes in the top 10 in the Premier League, led by Chelsea's Jorginho. Now, Xhaka has been a divisive figure at the club. Now, CIES's robust findings cover the last 1,000 minutes each player has played across Europe's top 5 leagues: Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga and League One. More on their methodology is here. You can actually check out that Granit Xhaka actually made it into the top 10. And that was pretty crazy. I mean, it's unreal. And CIS findings may come as a surprise to some, with Bukayo Saka being named Player of the Month for both January and February. In data developed by CIS, the midfielder Xhaka is the highest ranking Arsenal player. He comes into the top 10 led by Chelsea's Jorginho, which also includes Pascal Gross, Thiago Alcantara, Harry Kane, Luke Shaw, Wilfred Ndidi and Ruben Diaz. Crazy. I don't think so many Arsenal fans were even expecting that in the first place. But that is what it is, and we have to believe in it. Moving on, so RC Strasbourg are eyeing Ismail Doucouré. Who is Ismail Doucouré? Now, author of good performances with Valenciennes in recent months, 15 appearances in all competitions among the pros, Ismail Doucouré attracted the eye of several clubs among the elite, but also abroad. According to our information, RC Strasbourg have approached the 17-year-old central defender, solid in duels and with good ball technique. The Alsatian club would like to attract him to its ranks for next season. Fond of young French footballers, Leicester and Arsenal also have an eye on the Valencian, who is already compared to Dayot Upamecano for his precocity and his positioning, which is under contract until June 2023 with his training club. So Arsenal looking for a very young centre back, and it looks like it is going to be a stronghold. Let's see, Strasbourg, Leicester or Arsenal, who are going to get the signature of Ismail Doucouré? Let's see what happens. I think he's I've seen some of his clips since actually coming across with this report. He looks decent. For his age. Really good positioning wise. Moving on, so Manchester United's Marcus Rashford has actually given his verdict on Arsenal's £100 million star in Bukayo Saka. And he was asked about Bukayo Saka during the Q&A session he held on Twitter this week, and he praised on his fellow England international. Rashford and Saka both will not feature in England's qualifier, a World Cup qualifier against Poland or at Wembley on Wednesday. Unsurprisingly, in the Q&A, as his thoughts on Saka was that he has been key player for Arsenal. So one of the Twitter user asked him, "What do you have to say about Saka?" To which Rashford replied with a 2-word verdict: great talent. Now, we all know that he understands the true worth of Bukayo Saka. As per CIES Football Observatory's astonishing transfer values, Bukayo Saka's valuation has emerged in recent weeks, and it is estimated to be between £100 million to £130 million, and that makes up to 20% of the value of whole of Arsenal squad, which is currently valued at £532 million, and with Gunners behind Liverpool, City, Chelsea and Tottenham when it comes to the overall value of squads in the Premier League. Now, big question: can Martin Odegaard make it into the Arsenal squad in the future? I don't know. It's up to Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane. So with this, we end this episode. Just let me tell you, I think we're going to have a good discussions tonight as well on our on our different podcasts. You could say something like that. If you want to join in, hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, the links of which are in the description. Follow me on those platforms, and then you might be you might be lucky to join in and have a discussion with me. I will see you in the next one. Cheers.